Well, if today is the first day you're stopping by, please do well to like, share and subscribe. Today, friends, we're going to talk about a very important topic that says, how do women deal with painful sex? How do they deal with vulvodynia? And if we're going to talk about this, we're going to also talk about why is it that some female, that their female orgasm is not supposed to be the way it's supposed to be. So I want you to sit back and relax and listen. Let's go into it together. My name is Irene Henry. So today we're going to talk about this topic, and I want to tell you, fans, that sex is a beautiful thing. In fact, it is being ordained by God. Sex is kind of something that is a kind of bond that holds a man and a woman together so greatly. Now, if God has ordained that sex must take place in the life of or between two couples, what do you think can be the prison or be the problem why a woman now experience painful sex during sex? Okay, so when God was creating Adam and Eve, he made sure that when God was creating Adam, he made sure that he gave him a beautiful wife that will make him, or that will complete him. And God made that sex to be what will help in procreation and also to hold a man and a woman together. Now we're going to talk about how do women deal with painful sex. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about now is this. There is no particular cause for this or any particular remedy for this, or any remedy that I'll say is for this. First of all, you have to think and dig into yourself and work on your inner self. It's very, very important. Before you talk about painful sex, you have to talk about, is there anything that you are going through, that you are passing through? Because before any pains manufacture physically or comes out physically, maybe you have been going through emotional pain, you've been going through emotional turmoil. So find out where you might be holding on to some pain that is manifesting into physical pain, because emotional pain absolutely manifests, and in fact it can manifest in body physical pain. Same sex you did before. Yes, this is very, very important. We need to spice up some things. We need to spice up some, change styles, change positions, spice up some life. They say that variety is the spice of life, and this applies to everything that we do in life. If you're doing the same thing all the time, just know that there are times that you won't even be in the mood or have the urge for sex, and this may result to painful sex. Now you have to think about a way of spicing up your bedroom life, and those will come out very beautiful, almost beautiful ever. Now, there are things that make women to be emotionally unstable. Maybe you are having fights with your husband. Why don't you first of all try to settle your issues before going into sex? Bring out your whole mind, bring out your whole heart. I know that this is my man, this is my husband. So picking up quarrels or holding on grudges will not help the matter. Now you have to be more curious about what does to your body, or what your body needs and requires. Stand in for yourself in terms of self-love and self-care. This is very, very important. A lot of women don't take care of themselves. I know that we all are busy. I watched one of YouTubers video, and she was saying that a woman needs a me time, which is very, very important. In this our busy schedule, we all need a me time. You just need a time for yourself and for your husband alone. A time to take care of yourself and pamper yourself is very, very important. There are times that the stress of the family will be too much on you. There are times that the day's activities will be too much. The children are there to give their own stress. The work is there is to give you their own stress. But make sure that you give out some time for yourself. Give out some time for your own self, for your own sanity and for your own health is very, very important. So self-love and self-care is also a very important thing to consider if you don't want to have a painful sex. Now, take a step back and start doing different things. I want to know to find what feels good for you. Now, another thing is for you to explore different styles in bed. Just like I said, spice up your bedroom life. Don't do the same thing all the time. You don't need to do the same thing all the time. You need to look, even if it means googling it, even if it means browsing, asking questions, do it. Okay, let's take sex from a different perspective. Let's take a while. Let's just say there is no penetration out of it. Now, have you considered oral sex? How does it feel? Do you feel good about it? Or have you considered fingering? Do you love that one? Or do you even need long foreplay? All those things might be what you need, but you don't know, because maybe you are doing the same thing all the time. So it's very, very important that you try to change. You need to start changing how you do your sex. You need to start changing the approach, even in the conversations. Okay, it's not all about one particular sex, not all about the missionary journey. Look for doggy styles, so many styles that we have, and try to spice up your sex life. Your body is always knowing a lot of things. Your body just like your body talks to you that I want this. Your vagina also, just like your body tells you that I want this, your vagina also tells you the same thing. That's how a different thing. Your vagina also tells you to do the same different thing. But there might be resentments towards your partner. So if you're having any grudges or any resentments you have towards your partner, it's time for you to let it go so as to enjoy sex. Sex is a beautiful thing. It's what God has made to continue to hold two couple together. Now, another thing we're going to talk about is how does sometimes female orgasms it doesn't be how it's supposed to be. It doesn't sound how it's supposed to be again. Now, we all know that our bodies are different. In fact, and there is no orgasm better than the other one. In fact, I think that over the years, sex gets better, and orgasm also greatly. So it can come in different ways, like tingling, emotional outbursts, or even female ejaculation. So it's of different ways. For the fact that you're enjoying the sex, for the fact that you're enjoying all those things, your whole body is also enjoying it. In fact, sex feels good when you're enjoying it. So thinking about orgasms, reaching orgasms shouldn't be the priority. What you should be looking forward to is for you to enjoy your man. It doesn't matter whether you reach the orgasm or not. So don't get so attached that your orgasm should be in a particular way. It shouldn't be all focused on having an orgasm. is the journey that matters. And what's that journey? The journey is the journey you're talking about is the journey of enjoying that sex with your man. Okay, and then remember too that orgasm feels in a different ways depending on which one they are. We have a clitoral orgasm, and it's going to be much more explosive than a clitoral orgasm is going to be much more explosive than a much more internal G-spot area or cervical orgasms that are deeper. In fact, the sperms feel differently because the clitoral orgasms, it comes out and splashes that you even feel it, while the other one happens in the inner G-spot, in your inner cacus. So it's not even the orgasm that matters, it's the journey of enjoying your sex life. Then another thing I'm going to talk about here is the next thing I'm going to talk about is this. Maybe your wife doesn't make move, or you as a man, you don't make move in initiating sex because maybe it's painful to the woman, and you feel that your wife doesn't love you the way she's supposed to love you or the way you want her to love you. No, that is not what it's supposed to be. Now, have you tried understanding your partner's love language? Love language is very important in enjoying a sex life. Now, your love language as a man might not be the same thing as the woman, because you all came from different backgrounds and you all have different love languages. In one of my videos, I talked about things I wish I knew before getting married. It took me a very long time. It took me a while before I understood my partner's love language. Now, love language, I will say is very, very important. Now, your wife might be, her own love language might be an act of service. She will dedicate herself to the family that she provides. She makes sure that you are very okay as a man. But you as a man, what you are dying and yearning for is for a touch. You want a play, you want a touch from your wife, which you are not getting. Okay? Maybe you are not getting that from her, and you think that your wife doesn't love you, and you think that your wife frustrates you. I read an article where a man was complaining to somebody and said that it's true that my wife loves me, I know, but she never initiates sex from her own side. I must always be the one to make the first move, and that literally is not encouraging. In fact, it is painful that she would not do anything. She won't even do. This is what a man was complaining, and that is why I say that love language is very, very important. You as a husband, this is not what you want from your wife. Your wife thinks that she is doing everything in her capability to make sure that you are very, very happy and okay. While you on your own side, you think that this woman is not doing anything at all. Okay, the reason here is because you've never understood each other's love language, and that is why I said that love language here is very, very important. So the first thing, the thing you have to do is that you have to find out what your love languages are. Have a conversation between you two and see if it's possible to speak each other's love language. That is why communication is very important in every marriage. Without communication, there will be no room for change, there will be no room for understanding, there will be no room for any improvement. If you and your partner don't communicate regularly on what you know or what you want, there will be problems here and there in your marriage. So you as a man, if you feel that your wife is not doing what you want her to do, you should know the best time to talk to her. And you as a woman, if you know that you think that your woman is not doing what you want him to do, you should also talk to him and see how you're going to get connected to each other. For instance, as a man, your love language might be touching. You want her to always touch you, you want her to always play with you, but you are not getting that from her. and she makes a great meal for you. Her house is out of service, maybe she makes a great meal for you, she makes sure that you are being pampered and taken care of, and in your mind you're really saying, gosh, I'm not getting anything from this woman, I just need a touch from her. So it's literally not landing. So check your love language. Then both of you should have an agreement that you should be speaking on each other's love language, even if it's on daily basis. So if you love your husband and your wife, and you should really gonna speak their love language. So it doesn't mean that you're a bad lover, no. It's just that probably you haven't spoken with each other about what you like, and maybe the sex he or she likes. So that's maybe another thing that you are having a painful sex. So let me just tell you that the sex you are having at the beginning of your relationship or your courtship will not be the same thing as you are having now. So a great communication and adjustment should always make things to work out. Okay guys, I think I'm going to end this video here. I don't know if I've been able to tell you something that will help you, but I believe that with these things I've said, that it's going to help you a lot in your sex life. So please try to subscribe to my channel. If you are here and you're always just here to watch and go, please try and subscribe. Be part of this community that we are growing. Okay, so I'll see you again guys on the next video. Just stay tuned and subscribe again to my channel. Bye.